daydreaming during class one day, and he was wondering, if I'm riding on a beam of light and I turn on a flashlight, will it go past me? What an interesting question. And some might scoff at it and think it was worthless, but not this boy. He kept thinking about it, and he dedicated his life to this question. Of course, this boy's name was Albert Einstein. And this question was, can something travel faster than the speed of light? And this was very important when he developed his theory of relativity years later. And in the C, in E equals mc squared, stand for a constant. And here the constant is the speed of light. So I call these strange, odd, weird questions Einstein questions. Einstein questions are incredibly valuable when you're learning Torah. And you have to ask these questions. They sometimes focus more on the theoretical than the practical. Some call them thought experiments like Schrodinger's cat or the trolley problem. So I have an Einstein question for today's Parsha, and it comes from Bnei Lappe, the Rosh Yeshiva of the Svara Yeshiva. What if donkeys read the Torah? Right? What if donkeys read the Torah? So if you think about it for a second, if donkeys read the Torah, she says, they would look at all the donkey stories, and they would remember the stories, and they would love the donkey stories, right? Because we actually remember and resonate with the stories that are about us, or that are related to us, or that we're interested in. So if you read through this week's Parsha, in Parsha's Korach, Moshe actually mentions a donkey in passing, right? And then actually later on in our Haftorah, Shmuel also mentions a donkey. They both mention them in the context of the speeches that they're making about leadership, about how they didn't enrich themselves personally through their leadership position, that didn't even take a donkey. So I actually read through the whole Tanakh, the whole Hebrew Bible, looking for these donkey stories. And I was fascinated at the lessons I learned. Just one quick lesson was that the donkey, what does it represent? It represents a novice, being humble, right? And the idea is the donkey is juxtaposed to the horse. When you're on the horse, you're standing much higher. But when you're on a donkey, you're lower, and it's almost the lowest level, right? You're at the lowest level, but you're still riding on something, right? You're not walking, which is different. So Avram rides a donkey, David rides a donkey, and the Melech HaMashiach, the Messiah, rides a donkey. So it's very fascinating to think about what's the role that the donkey plays. So the idea is that we see that leaders are supposed to be humble. And we only learn this lesson from the donkey stories and paying attention to the donkey. And I think that's a deeper lesson about Einstein questions, that they go from the theoretical to the practical, actually, and they have a lot of applications. And that another deep lesson, I think, from the donkey stories is that we need to read the Torah from the view of the donkey, and from the view of an archer, or from the feminist view, or from the streams or mountains. And through all these different views, we're able to get the larger picture of the Torah.